You know, there's a lot of reasons why head gaskets blow. I mean, running too hot of a tune, driving like a 17-year-old. These are common things. And certainly this comment here is spot freaking on, letting the thing get too hot. I know you guys probably are tired of me just banging the drum of the Edge Insight CTS3. But not only does this thing monitor, why aren't you going on FICMRepair.com and buying this thing? I don't understand. Like more of them. We sell a ton of them, don't misunderstand. But if you're watching this video and you have a Power Stroke 6-liter and you don't, or any vehicle really, this monitor beeps at you when bad things are happening. How awesome is that? So you set the thresholds. You say, hey, look, I want to know when I hit 200 and call it 15-degree coolant. I want to know when my oil temps exceed 220. Because you really shouldn't exceed 230 on oil unless you want to buy an engine from me. And I don't want to sell you an engine. If you need one, I'll sell one, and I guess probably something we're stuck. But I'd rather avoid that. So if you have gauges that beep at you and bad things are happening, you don't have to notice that they're happening. Isn't that better for you? The answer is yes. And then you get this gauge here, and now all of a sudden you can add their street diesel kit, and now you're monitoring fuel pressure, which is the number one reason why injectors fail. There was another poster, another commenter on one of their videos. He said nothing but just difficulty with his Power Stroke 6-liter, and now he's a Duramax guy. He's like, I was going through injectors like candy, and don't be telling me I didn't use good injectors, man. I used Ford injectors, Motorcraft injectors. I can see him pounding his fist in disdain. Did you check your fuel pressure? Because if you didn't check your fuel pressure, it's not the injector's fault. Guys, there's always a reason why. There's a reason why you're sleeping on the couch tonight. Because you did something to piss off your lady. Stop that. Be good to her, right? Build a relationship with her. She says, the worst thing that any of us can hear from our lady is that she's doing fine. How you doing? Fine. Oh crap, here we go, right? We all know this. And so it's like, but then do you have the relationship with them to build it back and figure out what's really going on? I don't know. The good news is technology, it's ones and zeros, guys. It's either good or it's not good. But recognize that if you're going through injectors like candy, there's a reason why. Probably it's fuel pressure or fuel contamination or dirty motor oil, right? There's no reason why your injector should be failing anytime before minimally 150,000 miles. Come on. And if you run a good injector with a good bypass oil filter, and you maintain your fuel pressure, 55, 60 psi of fuel pressure at all times, life is good. But you can go ahead and add fuel pressure monitoring with this because Ford didn't think it was important. They're wrong. This is a huge, huge, huge issue, fuel pressure, right? And you can monitor your deltas between your coolant and your oil and say, hey, look, how close are these? They should be within 15 degrees when you're not pulling nothing. And 15 degrees is on the high side, right? By the time it's at 15, oh my goodness. But if you're only if your spread is 8, 9, 10 degrees, do a back flush, right? Buy IPR's, full flow coolant filter kit from FICMRepair.com, just saying, or the Fix Your 6 back flush valve, also available on FICMRepair.com, and go ahead and stop having problems. But there's always a reason why these things fail. And just beg on it and say it's a piece of crap, well, okay, the monitoring from Ford does stink. I mean, have you ever noticed that your low pressure oil pressure gauge is always dead set in the middle of perfect? Idle, cold, hot, red line, always dead set in the middle of perfect. Huh, I wonder if it's lying. Yeah, it's just a 7 psi switch is what's going on. Don't you want to monitor low pressure oil pressure? Yeah, maybe. If you ever notice that your trans temp, once it gets to the middle of perfect, it just stays there. Towing, not towing, 0 degrees, 110 degrees outside. That's either the best heat exchanger known to man, or it's lying to you. What do you think it is? So recognize that when oil coolers blow, pursuant to this comment here, yeah, it's bad. That's what it is, bad. There's no other word, bad, right? And so how do you avoid these things? Let's run a coolant filter. Let's prevent the oil cooler from acting like a freaking filter and catching all the floaties in your coolant. And let's get a single pass filter, none of this bypass coolant filter garbage. I know it's $150, $160 from the XDP one or the Mishimoto one. We sell those products. If that's all you got, it's better than nothing. But if you can swing the few $100 extra and get a full flow coolant filter from IPR, then life is good and you won't have to be doing back flushes. Isn't that better for you? Spend some time with your family instead of jacking with your truck all the time. The reason why your truck's breaking is because you're not understanding how it works. Learn the reasons why, you'll have a better life, I promise. Power Stroke 6 liters are amazing motors. You just got to know some stuff. And hopefully you're subscribed to this channel. Maybe you'll repost this video. I don't know. I can only ask. I can only beg so much. But the more we get the word out, the more people will understand that these are not the pieces of crap that so many people are mistakenly believing that they are. They're not, and they're not. They don't have to be a money pit. Now, if you get one that's been abused and not taken care of, yeah, it's going to be a couple of nickels to get it to go where it needs to go. But once it's there, and it's solid, reliable, and life is good. And no, you don't have to spend $30,000 to get there either. It's cheaper than that. Yes, getting monitoring gauges, you shouldn't have to need these things. I understand it should be easier to drive a truck than this. That's just not the world we're living in, guys. So live in reality, get some monitoring gauges, realize what causes these motors to fail, and then proactively do something to prevent you being a statistic. Okay? FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together.